Hey guys, so we are now witnessing more evidence of the party that have dominated South African politics since 1994, that single-handedly ruled this country since we became a so-called democracy, is on its way out and it is falling apart. Another split is happening within the ANC, and for the first time in history, of this country at least, voters will have the option of voting for either the Communist Party or the Bolshevik Party in this November's elections. So the thing that makes this split so interesting is the fact that the Communist Party is actually older than the ANC. In fact, the Communist Party actually founded the modern ANC and made the modern ANC what it is today, at least ideologically. Today, more than a century after the founding of the first Communist Party in South Africa, its ideological daughters have split up already into several offshoots that include not only three of the four largest parties in this country currently, of course the EFF, the MK Party and the ANC, but also a number of growing more radical alternatives that have been making significant inroads in recent by-elections, especially in more localized cases. The Independent Election Council, or IEC, has recently announced that this year's municipal election will take place on the 4th of November of this year. This means it is now less than 6 months away. And astonishingly, the number of parties registered for this year's election is already over 500. Yes, that's right. No less than 508 political parties have registered with the IEC with the aim of contesting this year's election, which is by far the largest number in history of this country. Since the last election was held 2 years ago, 62 new parties have already registered with the IEC to contest this year's municipal elections. Most of these new parties are so-called community-based or local political parties, but what is particularly striking is that for the first time ever, voters will see both the Communist Party, which was always part of the ANC, as well as the so-called Bolshevik Party on this year's ballot, with the South African Communist Party to contest an election independently for the first time in its 105-year existence, the first time since it has not been a part of the ANC. The South African Communist Party has partnered with the ANC, of course, since the 1950s, largely as a result of the close friendship between Nelson Mandela and, of course, Joe Slovo, the man who wrote most of the ideological documents and backbone of the party of the ANC. But, of course, its origins are surprisingly far removed from that of the ANC. From that time on, communist figures such as Slovo, along with Roo First, Albie Sachs, Lionel Bernstein, and many other from the Jewish communist community became not only the ideological architects of the ANC, but also the logistical backbone of the ANC's radical revolutionary operations, specifically those like the terrorist attacks that were committed by Umkhonto we Sizwe. And so the ANC and the South African Communist Party later merged as the two giants of South Africa's so-called liberation struggle. But despite the fact that they have ruled South Africa together with COSATU in the tripartite alliance with the trade union since 1994, they were not born as such. In fact, when the South African Communist Party was founded in 1921, just a couple years after the successful communist revolution in Russia in 1918, it initially allied itself with what can best be described as a form of white national socialism. During the 1922 Rand Revolution, organized by the South African Communist Party, for example, white mine workers rose up against the mining companies whose strategy was to employ cheaper black labor in semi-skilled positions, importing this cheap labor from all over South Africa in the homelands where the black majority used to live, and putting them into the cities like Johannesburg and replacing more higher paid white workers with lower paid black labor. The communists then organized a strike with a slogan at the time that read, "White workers of the world unite and fight for the white South Africa." And so the South African Communist Party was essentially birthed in what can best be described as an early 1920s form of nationalized socialism, and it would only be decades later that it strategically realigned itself completely to ally with the black supremacist ANC. This ideological realignment finally culminated in the Freedom Charter of 1955, which promoted a distinctly Marxist Leninist idea such as free, universal, and compulsory education for all, as well as the idea that the means of production must be deprivatized in the name of economic freedom or economic egalitarianism. That's also, for interest's sake, where the EFF got its name from, Economic Freedom Fighters. You see, this document of the Freedom Charter has largely served to ideologically shape and align the ANC and the South African Communist Party's coalition since that time onwards until today, where they look to split for the first time ever. And it has also served as the blueprint for the so-called National Democratic Revolution they have sought to implement in this country since 1955, and which they are still trying to implement in this country, albeit with quite a failed success. Yet this year, for the first time ever, the South African Communist Party will be contesting a nationwide election independently of the ANC for the first time ever. This split is largely a result of Communist Party leaders and members losing all confidence in Cyril Ramaphosa, who is also the candidate that this specific faction, the Communist Party faction with the ANC, did support in the leadership run, and they are also the reason why Cyril Ramaphosa even won the leadership run of the ANC party. And this is also the reason why Cyril Ramaphosa had so many communist turns and moved so far towards pushing this country towards full-on communism with, for example, expropriation without compensation and other such measures that he had taken. It was mostly because he had to appease the South African Communist Party faction that voted him into the leadership. Earlier this year, when Ramaphosa spoke at the Communist Party's 31st annual commemoration of Joe Slovo, he was booed and humiliated even despite paying tribute to the Leninist ideology of Slovo. Take a look at this. It's very interesting.
Comrades, there's one thing which I want you to do. You don't do what other people do in other organizations. When you disagree, you start booing. Listen to the message, and we continue to the message. Comrade, order. Dingakubiza igama, comrade. Comrade, order. Dingakubiza igama. Order.
And so the South African Communist Party, evidently frustrated today with the continuing decline and the fall of the ANC, have decided to contest this year's municipal elections independently for the first time. In a recent by-election in the Alfred Nzo municipality in the Eastern Cape, the South African Communist Party became the official opposition after just one election. Interestingly enough, we can see, just like the MK made a lot of inroads in KwaZulu-Natal, it seems to be the case that the South African Communist Party could be making the same sort of inroads into the Eastern Cape, although I do not believe they will have as strong of a position as the MK party had in KwaZulu-Natal. The South African Communist Party in the Eastern Cape got more votes than even the EFF and coming in second only behind the ANC. Just another important point to take note, the South African Communist Party will be far from the only openly communist party on the ballot this year. Another party that has been making some inroads in recent by-elections, especially in the Limpopo province, is the Bolsheviks Party of South Africa, who will also be on the ballot in this November. And for the very first time in South African history, voters will have both the Communist Party as well as the Bolshevik Party on the ballot in this coming November's election, as the communist factions within the ANC do not see a future working together with the ANC in the coming years. Yet, all of this testifies to what extent the revolutionary Marxist left in this country is splintering apart, and all of these already communist parties like the EFF, the ANC, losing votes, and the only one really standing strong being the MK party of Jacob Zuma. Where once the alliance between the African National Congress, the South African Communist Party, and Congress of South African Trade Unions presented a united ideological front without any competition for that black Marxist vote from parties that didn't exist yet, such as the EFF and the MK Party, we are now witnessing absolute fragmentation and competition and open distrust within the once united ranks. Instead of consolidating the influence between all these different Marxist or black Marxist parties, they now started to split up, and it's only being accelerated now. These breakaways risk dividing an already shrinking support base into even many more smaller factions, each claiming to be the original ideologically pure party, and the party that stand with the values that the ANC always had portrayed to have, but do not have according to the people breaking away. But non-commanding decisive electoral strength, which makes this splintered way the ideological left that was once united within the ANC and now divided into so many small parties, a much easier enemy to fight against. And of course, the hope is that by means of continued infighting within these parties, these revolutionary Marxist movements, such as the ANC, might end up completely neutralizing not just another, but themselves as well, further accelerating the destruction and downfall of the oppressive political machine that have kept the peoples of this country in chains for so long. In a recent video, we highlighted how the destruction of the ANC has become an inevitability and how the ANC is already falling apart, but it might soon be falling apart so much that we might not even recognize it anymore. You can check out that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. And please do consider supporting the good work that we do here at the Willem Petzer Group by just becoming a paying member, by just following the easy steps on the banner underneath me. Thank you for watching, goodbye, and God bless.